Yeah, we are seven hearts that are connected, and the memory of the heart is much deeper than the mind.
Yeah. I've updated the framework, Jesse. I'm going to, I'll share it in the chat when it's ready. I'm just cleaning up the picture. And you guys can have a look and let me know what you think. I think it's a pretty accurate representation of what we do here and what we experience.
Will, see if you can share it.
Do you want it in the chat or in the messenger, Heart Center Creators
Well,
Messenger, or both?
I was just going to see if you were able to share it there, but you should be able to share on that way it'd
Chat?
come up on the screen. That way it'd come up on the screen. See down below if you hit share.
Sure.
I don't know if you
share.
can.
Share, only a host can share.
Mm.
Okay. I'll just
Okay.
share it in the chat and you guys can have a look and
Fine. Yeah, that's fine.
give me some feedback. Boom. This is kind of what I've created based on everything that we've discussed, what Jesse's talked about and how he's led this experience. And it starts with the core.
Let me see hold on
yeah.
just a second, Will. I want to
Yeah, go
see if I
ahead.
can bring it up just so that everyone. So, yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Beautiful.
Whoa.
It's a framework for this experience that we called Fireside Daily. Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like a collaborative creation from all of us that we've all generated. And I just put it onto a piece of paper. You can see the
Great work, Will.
significance, eh? There's a lot of depth here to this, and it's really a framework. It's what we do. We go through this cycle every day. We connect, right? Like we connect, and then we connect through questions. And this is a structure that we're in, and we receive feedback. So when we're connecting through questions, we gather awareness, and then we have this structure through which we receive feedback, and we break through. We express, we share, and then we have realizations, and we really expand into our hearts and gather wisdom. And then we scatter, we bring that to the world in our day. And in the first area there, you notice there's a bird. It's kind of like a bird, which to me signifies freedom. And under the bird, it says wobble. And then there's a second bird in the next stage, and it's like wiggle. And then the third stage is giggle. So there you go. Yeah. So there's that first phase, there's the second phase, there's the third phase. There's these three phases to our mornings. There's three phases to every experience here. And the final experience we have is freedom, connection, and inspiration. We show up free. We connect here. We get inspired, and then we take that freedom to the world. So we gather, we break through, we scatter. It just all makes so much sense. We gather in the awareness, we break through, and we have expressions here. And then scatter, we take that expansion with us and that wisdom to know the difference. And we share it with the world, and that's freedom. I think it's a beautiful thing. So I'll stop talking and let you guys share if you like.
It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
Like we all here, getting better and better at
Looks great.
recognizing. Yeah,
It's a great
beautiful.
way of describing everything and keeping it within the triangle, and almost look like what you call it, sacred geometry. Almost.
Yeah, well, I actually, you know what? I was doing the measurements on it, and the circles actually are in that one, that ratio of 0.618 to 1 to 1.618. And that's how I got them to line up so well.
Wow.
Yeah. And then at the very center of it all, right? Like we have that we have that awareness, we have that expression, and we have that expansion right from the center of it all, which is where our heart is. Isn't that interesting? It just fascinates me. And it's like so I call it the fireside daily experience, because it's like it's a happening. It's not about a doing, it's about a being, and it's an experience that we have when we show up here in our hearts. And we can actually go through this structured framework every day, and there's a freedom in it, and it creates more connection and inspiration, which continues to propagate freedom, which everyone desires that in my mind, unless they don't.
Mm-hmm.
What's your experience of that, Jesse? Could this be something that could be a structure to move forward with, to roll out this framework with, if people want to start creating firesides themselves, that this could potentially be a framework, a guide for how the meeting is freely run, kind of thing, or taught the experience of how this works.
As it is today, that yes, thank you.
And that may change.
Yeah, I think it's a one. There's there's knowing it and being it.
Exactly.
So someone explain wobble, wiggle, giggle, or give me an example. All right. So what we're a wobble, wiggle, giggle is a process. Is a methodology that we can see things, right? So the point of the wobble is like, it's like if we were a top, if a top has enough momentum, right, it'll just sit there and spin steady. It's steady. right? But as soon as it begins to lose momentum, it'll start to wobble. And then what happens with the wobble is that it'll crash, right? It falls. And so what we're doing is we're seeing in our life what is causing a wobble. It's a out of harmony, it's out of balance, it's going away from our center. So
like being cold, and then the wiggle is the close, and then you get back to your normal temperature.
That's right. So the wobble, first, it's like the awareness of a wobble. Now, not always can we see our own wobble. Others can see it usually better than we can. So we listen for it in the words and as people speak. So here we have speakers and listeners. Those are the two things we practice.
That's the structure.
It's the structure. And we do it all the time anyway, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. The problem with the problem with listening is we don't listen to the other person. We're listening to what's in our head.
Yeah.
So we're listening to our ego, and usually the speaker's speaking from their ego. So what we have is two egos giving a weather report.
Love it.
So all the wiggle is like when we see the wobble, then the wiggle is to get out of it, right? To wiggle out of that wobble. And usually that is just to see it for what it is and then see for what you want to do. What does the
Awareness.
heart want to do? Yeah, all out of awareness.
Yeah, it's questioning the wobble.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, great. What is this wobble? Where is it coming from? Why am I in it? Like what's
What can I do about it?
That's right. What is the feeling? What is this? Name that feeling. That is what
Yes.
we miss. That is what we miss because we're not connected to our emotions, our feelings. We don't know our feelings.
Especially men, like women
Especially,
are taught to be more in tune with their emotions and their feelings. But us as men in society, it's kind of frowned upon. So it's okay though. We're still human, and it's actually very, very normal.
Well,
So we
it's
can,
also the other way, Will, because when women then talk about feelings, then men say you're hysteric. So
yeah, like there's something
it's
wrong
sort
with
of
that.
it's sort of like the domino effect. What happens to men also happens to women
Oh, okay.
because we reflect our unknowing of the feelings onto them talking about theirs.
Okay.
and so
Yeah, good point.
there's always that structure, right? The abuser, right, needs to be like have to have someone to abuse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roles.
Yeah, always like those, they wouldn't exist, right, if we didn't grab onto the structure. Doesn't mean that we like it. Doesn't mean that's where we need to be. Doesn't mean that we're in our power, right? As a victim, we're not in our power. We don't like that, but we don't know what to do about it. And we just say, it's like, oh, we ask questions to look at the wobble. It's like, oh, what is that? Oh, look, there's my ego just wanting to be right. Wanting to be proud. Oh, then how do I give that? How do I give that to myself? And that's all the wiggle is.
It's the ego. Awareness is the wiggle, and the giggle is the heart.
Right. It's like that broke through to the heart.
Yep.
Like the giggle is it's like, oh, we know there's the giggle means like, oh, there's a new reality. There's a new potential, a new possibility. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome. Thank you for expressing your. Thank you for expressing the structure of what we do here as well, putting it into words.
And now it's
Like
online
like having a
too.
visual, for visual learners.
Well, when I looked at your diagram, what it, immediately when I see circles and triangles like that, I think about the definition of space and then the space. And what I love about the triangle is that that's the smallest stable structure, the simplest stable structure that you can use to build a dome.
Oh.
And a dome is a circle. So the circles are in the triangle. And the triangles, when they're connected in a certain way, then become another circle.
Yeah.
And that's why they talk about sacred geometry. I mean, geometry, it's the formal form of energy and how it can become material, for want of a better word.
Yeah, kind of create structure. It's like the underlying structure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, it's all light. That's what really fascinates me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even atoms, like even the word, okay, atom, atome, like a tome is a segment or a fraction. Like tome is like, it could be one book in a series of books.
Mm.
Or it could be a fractionation of a whole of a bigger thing. So, an atom, what's an atom made up of? Well, you go to standard theory, there's all the building blocks that they've discovered. Do they know what's underneath that? Is there something smaller than that? Probably. Do they know? Not necessarily yet. But what really is it all? I'm going to say it's light. And there's there's this thing called dark energy, and then there's light. So it's like, who knows? it's all structure. It's all structure, and it's all energy. And energy, it's like a light energy.
The vibrational
Even
energy.
cells give off a light energy.
Mm.
Our bodies have a light energy to them, an aura, an auric field. And like, what is that? And like we started off the call today, I was reading from John chapter 1. It's like the light of life. The light of life. That's who we are. That's who we really are at our heart. We are creators.
It's funny they call it dark matter. It's funny they call it dark matter because it should be light matter.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
maybe
about
that's what they're actually talking about, eh?
Energy without a glow, that's not possible.
Well, even light is a frequency, and a frequency is a polarity. It's an up and down wave. So it's all waves. It's all waves.
Yeah.
Everything is waves. But there's this medium in which waves can exist. Like around the planet, there is air, there's water, and we can hear because there's waves, sound waves that go through the air and reach our ears, our hearing mechanisms, and then we hear, and it's interpreted by our brain. And the same thing with our vision, our sight, light. Light is also waves, and it goes through a medium. We just don't know, we don't understand what that medium is. We call it space, we call it dark matter, or dark energy, or whatever, and we just don't know what it is yet. We're in it, but we don't know. We just don't understand.
The same with
Maybe
colors.
someday we
Colors
will.
are light in different wave frequencies.
Yeah. And our auric field, our energy body, our intention, our frequency, we can adjust it in our body mind, and we can both receive and transmit waves or frequencies through our body mind based on what our emotional experience is. So if we're low emotion, it's a lower amplitude. If we're high emotion, it's a higher amplitude. And that actually sends out waves into the, for lack of a better term, thought field, superconscious field, whatever you want to call it. And it's picked up by like vibrations.
Mm.
And it gets mirrored back to us in our experiences of our so-called reality. So it's just fascinating. And am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I'm just expressing.
Like, okay, judgment-free zone. I just, the thought was like the urge was there, so I put words to the urge, and this is what the words were. Will it
Okay,
was
thank
wonder.
you.
It was like, oh, wonder.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you my answer, but I'm going to give you. I want you to do it, but I'm going to like my answer will let you will pull the hook out of this, right? Um, uh, were you like in that share? Was that your head or your heart?
I think it was a mixture of both, actually.
Good. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like I couldn't tell.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was like perfect because it's like it's in the middle. It's like no big deal. It's like I could go
Yeah.
either way with it. It's like, but yes, I could go either. So it's like neutral.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
good.
perfect. I'm okay with
Wow.
that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the
Yeah.
feedback. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you know what it was? It was like that what I just shared, the experience of it was like, I love this stuff. I love it. It
Passion.
absolutely blows my mind. And I'm in
Yes.
absolute wonder and awe
Yes.
and amazement of reality every single day.
Mhm.
And I just want to share it. I just want to
Right.
share whatever it is. Like,
Yes.
I'm not a scientist, so I can't objectively express how reality works. But from what I've learned over my years, I just shared from the heart what my experience is.
Mhm.
Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that's my experience.
Mhm. And so you gave
And
us a space to judge you or not.
Okay.
Now,
can the
that's what I mean.
scientists even prove if they're right or wrong? It's just because somebody said that's right that we believe
Yeah.
it's right what they're saying. I
Does
don't
your mathematical equation compute
know.
or work? You know?
Well, right. The scientists have a hypothesis. So they're looking to prove their hypothesis right. So they are looking to prove themselves right.
Yeah. Wow. Rather than just seeing what's there
Right.
and trying to prove something, actually, in my opinion, is not actually a true bare bones scientific method.
Because you will find
Like,
what you're looking for.
yeah, exactly. Like the true scientific method is to not have an hypotenuse. You're
Mhm.
just searching to understand
The real
objective
What is
science,
truth.
Yep.
It's a fixed
Real
answer.
science is what is aligned with nature, with universe.
Yes, exactly.
And
And then if you can have a scientific approach that is completely neutral, unbiased, then you're going to get a far better conclusion by not having any injections of opinions or judgments or creations. It just is. You know, then that's, I don't know, that's just my opinion again of what would be an objective scientific conclusion.
All the conclusions are just one point in time they're concluding it
Yeah.
from.
Yep. And then that can change.
And it's even just one place on Earth they're concluding it from, because I know the true measure of a kilogram or so is somewhere in France, beneath some place in a glass jar with no air and everything. So it can remain a kilogram because it'll change constantly. If you took it to Himalaya, it would weigh something different.
Wow. Because the gravitational
Gravity,
pull shifts in different locations.
Yeah. Everything has an influence. So every scientist is just what their answer is compared to where they are, when in time they are, and everything, because 1 + 1 may equal 2 right now, but if you got a male tiger and a female tiger, it could be 1,000 tigers in 1,000 years.
Hey, Heinz. Did you know that you're falling right now? Like right now, you're falling. You're falling to the center of the earth because you're stuck in a gravity well. The only thing that's stopping you is what is between you and the center of the earth.
Yeah.
So you're actually falling, but you're just.
Yeah, I can see that on. I can see that on my stomach.
You're just, yeah. So right now,
The
a
stomach
floor
went
is
from the
stopping
shoulders to way lower.
So yeah, I guess you know what this is. This is wonder.
Everything is influenced by everything else. So, what is it you said? Is it the 400 trillion bits of information there is each second? Well, that's when you measure the whole Earth, measure the whole universe as even more bits.
It's like wonder. When we're in wonder, we express our experience. And if you put those together, it's we wonder, express, experience. WEE. We.
Have a great day, T.
We'll see you, Chi. Or hear you. Have an awesome day.
Later.
Rest of your day.
You too.
Have you seen the movie Lucy?
Oh yeah. Anytime.
When she explains about one, that it's every number is in one. The only thing that matters is how fast you move time. And time is even an illusion if you look at it from that perspective. But it's the only thing that's constant, that we can't really change that way because it's always in motion.
Yeah. and time is still regulated by gravity. So if we were on a planet that had a larger gravity, time would seem to potentially move faster or slower, depending on the laws of nature.
Yeah, just look at and it also depends on how we perceive reality. We see 25 pictures a second. A fly sees 100 pictures a second. That's why it's so hard to hit it, because
the frame
it actually
rate's
looks
higher.
It looks like slow motion when we're moving.
Wow.
And then you can take a parrot. They see 124 pictures a second. So it's animal cruelty to have your parrot in the kitchen with the neon light, because the neon light to them looks like strobe light for us.
Yep. And the same thing with LEDs. LED lights flicker too.
Yeah. So
and
it's all about how we perceive things, how we look at it.
yeah, what's the fluorescent bulbs, eh? I guess is that what you're talking about, the neon?
And like you said earlier, everything has its own wavelength. The same with the brain. That's why it's called brain waves. They have their own length, but they need to be compatible for us to see it, to hear it, to whatever. So a lot of things going on in the world that we don't even see. It exists in the fluorescent, outside our brainwaves perspective.
Yeah. And so when you're in a near-death experience, or when you're in a car crash or something where it's like your life is in jeopardy, I'm kind of curious if the brain waves go into high gamma, which would basically increase your frame rate to the point where it appears like everything is going in slow motion.
Well, I have the feeling you actually stop using them. And when you sort of flatten them, that's like going into neutral. You can perceive way, way more.
Oh, so lower brain waves, like slower brain waves?
I don't know, but if it's lower or higher, but it's easier to move fast up and down if they aren't that tall. If it's not that much energy in them, but they're still vibrating. It's like what do you see? You got a bass, it's real high, real low, and then you have the what's it called, treble. It's very fast, small waves, but all of them have waves.
What my experience is like on Lucy there, right? Like it's like everything. Like, have you ever had those moments where things appear to slow down into slow motion?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where you just have a moment, right? And it's like, wow, that was amazing.
I normally have them with, oh shit, is the thought.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're about to crash or something, and all of a sudden everything goes into slow motion.
Fall or something, everything just turns down. It's
yeah.
But your body won't move any faster just because you can see it go slower.
Like there was a time where I stepped onto a steep metal roof when I was working, and I slipped off of it, and I went down, and the ladder came crashing down on me. And to everyone else, it looked like a split second. To me, it felt like multiple seconds. As I was going down, it felt like I was flying through the air in slow motion. And so I don't know if this is true or not, if this has been scientifically proven or what, but my opinion is that our brain waves actually speed up into high gamma. So it's like the refresh rate speeds up, and then it appears like, because we're used to seeing in 25 frames a second, if you speed it up to 100 or more frames a second, everything appears to be in slow motion.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my.
It's like when they put a high-speed camera on a hummingbird, so you can actually see its wings moving.
Yeah.
Because your brain, at the same time as one speeds up, your brain can only perceive or operate with the 25 images a second. So it looks like to you it's going slower, but it's still happening as fast as it is. I think it's a strange science. It's like the chicken and the egg. I don't think you can put science into that because I think it exists outside time as we perceive it. I remember exactly like you were talking about with the roof. I was walking on a ship we were building, and then the room was totally dark. And I walked out into a manhole that didn't have no railings on it or anything, but luckily my arm hit the other side, but it felt like I was moving just slow motion, even though I couldn't see or anything. It's just the time it took for me to hit that floor. I was sure now I'm falling. Woo.
Yep. You actually fell in a manhole?
I stepped out with one leg, and then that leg just disappeared. I had the other leg on the ship floor still, and then I just put my arms up, and then felt like it took 3-4 seconds before my arms actually hit the other side of the manhole.
There you go.
Lucky, or it would have been six floors down. No stop.
Seriously. Wow. That sounds like that movie Soul.
Yeah. Free fall.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I remember just looking right below, and I could look down there. Then I just rolled to the side. Busted my 2 ribs, and so I got a couple of days off.
A couple of days. Oh boy. Ouch.
Couple of days off with pay. But it wasn't exactly. I would much rather have worked than really have had that experience. It was something, whoa. It hung with me for a long time. Very careful walking into rooms afterwards.
That lovely image on my wall of I'll just take a picture of it. I'll share it in the chat. I've had this probably for over 20 years, and I'd like to keep it on my wall. A friend gave it to me. It's got just sage wisdom on it. I'll share it in the chat here. Here we go.
And if you look at it often, then it's not only on your wall, it's also in your heart.
Exactly, yeah. So sometimes I'll just take a moment and just stand here and reflect on it and remember what's possible. And it's all about experience. And like with the Fireside Daily framework there, kind of at the center of it all is experience. It's an experience. That little triangle.
Nurture your heart and soul. Smile a lot, laugh. Yep. I agree with that.
Yes.
Wow. Almost hurt my head just reading the first 5 lines.
Yeah, it's a lot, eh?
Yeah. I understand why you have it on your wall, so you can sort of take one thing at a time when you feel like it. All that at once, it's sort of like you'll miss the first part then.
Yeah, it's good for reminders, you know. Sometimes something will just kind of pop.
Yeah.
The one thing that caught my eye in that bull was to love and to be loved. And it just reminded me of a saying that I had written down from a talk by a guy, I think his name is Hans King, actually. Yes, his last name is the same as yours.
No way.
And what he said was, the only really important thing in our lives is how we love and how we allow ourselves to be loved.
It's because that's what we truly are. We are love.
Mm-hmm.
Allow ourselves to be loved. How we love, how we are loved, how we allow ourselves to love and be loved. That's beautiful, Allison.
Yeah.
True
Yeah.
estimate.
That was a good thing about clearing out, was I had to go through all my little bits of paper that I had all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you found that?
Oh,
You see,
yeah,
there's
no,
nothing that
yeah, I'd
there's
written it
nothing
down
that's so
from
bad that isn't good for something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly, Heinz. There remain many gifts
Yeah.
in the chaos.
Treasures.
Mm. Well, I think I need to go for today. Thank you so much, Jesse. And thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Allison,
Have
for
a
being
blessed
here.
day, Alison. Love and hugs.
It's a beautiful day.
Dun, dun,
Don't
dun, dun,
let
dun,
it
dun.
get away.
Well, you sound happy today, Will.
Oh, good.
I feel energized today. For some reason, I'm not tired. It's becoming better and better.
Awesome.
Yesterday, I had a little bit of feeling tired, but the day before was a little less energy than today, but still a lot. But
Good.
it's like
You're
the
feeling
more
good,
we,
eh?
yeah, the more we big. I've been hearing music all day, even though my son is playing music, but I'm hearing different music. Mine is normally more 70s, 80s. And then, of course, we have Mana Mana.
Yeah.
It's always
Oh, remember
running in
that?
my heart. It's that happy song, just making me laugh and smile. At the same time, I hear that circus music. Yeah, my heart
Awesome.
is a funny place.
Remember that song by Nina Simone where she's like, and I'm feeling good. Do 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 do
Oh yeah.
do do do. Anyways, that just popped in my head when you said you're feeling good.
I think it's more like James Brown. I feel good.
I feel good.
I
I
knew
knew
that I
that I
would.
would.
Yeah.
I feel nice. Sugar and spice.
Tapping
So
into
nice.
all of your energy is sort of energizing. It's ever since that day, your word was energy and Chi's word was power. I've been
Oh,
energized more since that day.
wow. Look at that, eh? Like your focus shifted probably, eh?
Yep.
Good for you, man. How does that feel?
Feels great. Now I just need something to do with the time.
Yeah. Well, you get to do that today. You get to choose.
Yep. And my son's here and he's actually tapping into the energy in some way also because I saw him cleaning the room and moving around everything. So where he's getting that energy from, well, it's gotta be us.
Yeah.
Because he's always but I think a lot of young people are that way today, but it's not their fault. It's sort of like what they see on TikTok and everything else, so they fall into a trap.
Mm. Respect yourself. So
Yeah.
I'm just fixing some of the words on here. They're kind of getting a little worn off. I'm just retracing them with a Sharpie.
Mm.
Allow yourself to love and to be loved. That one's really going to stick out today. The word of the day. We didn't actually share our words of the day, eh? I think
Well, my
mine is
word will be
wonder today.
love, love, love.
Oh, Allison did embrace. Awesome.
I think I
Do you have a
saw
word
one
of the day,
earlier.
Jesse?
Oh, you had wonder,
Oh, Joe.
express, experience. You had 3 words earlier.
Yeah, wonder, express, experience. Wee. Yeah, we. We is my word, and it means wonder, express, experience. October 25th.
I'm gonna go with awareness.
Awareness. Very nice. That's a very good
That's
choice,
all.
sir.
That's always a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. It always can be improved. It's
Yeah.
like in wonder of what I will be aware of.
Mm.
What was your word again, Heinz?
Love.
Love. That's right. Love,
All
love,
we
love.
need is love.
Mhm.
Bum, ba, da, ba, dum.
All we need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. And if you're being it, you don't even need it then. Because you're just being, it's like all you need, all you get to be is love.
All we are is love.
All we are is love, love. But then we're also the polarity. All we are is love and hate. No. All we are is love and hate.
All we are, we are. Da, 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 da.
All we are is no thing until we're love.
We're
Start.
judged. We're judged
Yeah.
until we're loved.
All we are
Ooh,
is judged.
yeah.
All we need is love,
All we need is love.
not judged.
Judgment free zone. Judgment free zone.
Yeah, but when you go around the world acting like love, you will be judged for it. But it's because they don't know love then. They know judgment, not love.
Yeah. You'll repel some and you'll attract others
Yeah.
based on where they're at.
And that's it. It doesn't depend on anyone else.
Yeah. Just
No.
be
It
it.
doesn't matter. It's like there's mine, there's yours, and there's ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ours is yes, and ours is like a intention to connect, to come together, to gather. And there's just some people that I won't gather with. And there's some people that won't gather with me.
Yep.
Fine. There's nothing there. Again, why worry? Why worry about that? Why stress about that? Why put any energy in that at all? And just gather with those that want to gather. Because that's my passion. And you're free. You're free to do yours.
That's how you truly become free, by not caring about what everybody else thinks. You care about what you think. That's freedom. We can always walk around worrying about what everybody else would think about it, but can we change what they think about it? No.
It's up to them.
Then why worry about it?
Doesn't matter. Oh, you know
No,
what I think I just realized is actually at the center point of the framework there, the image, the drawing, the picture, the like that little red triangle at the center of the heart is choice, like free will choice in any given moment. That's what really brings it all together. We choose. We, as human beings, we have what I call a secret power. It's in our heart. It's super conscious, and it has a creative capacity, and that free will, that God-given free will that every human being has, resides in our heart, and is to choose. Are you choosing what you love?
Yeah.
In any given moment, we get to choose. So that's, you know what? That's my word today is choice. I'm still going to go with the vibration of we, wonder, express, and experience. And my word of the day is choice. Choose. I'm going to choose today.
The most powerful word. What's it called, that movie where he sings that song, Gangsta's Paradise?
Yeah.
But when she explains that choice is the most powerful thing you can do, well, if someone has a gun to my head, I don't have much of a choice. Well, you have the choice, if you don't want to die with your head straightened up and say, come on, get it done with, or you have the choice if you want to cry and die.
Yeah.
That's still a choice. It may not be a good choice, but it's still a choice. People can't take that away from you, your choice.
No. Yeah, exactly.
And they can't make it for you.
Nope.
But your ego will want to without ever looking at it.
Yeah. What do you think I should choose?
Yeah, or
That's
tell me, right? You
yeah,
tell me. Let me pay you for you to tell me what I should do.
yeah,
Now, like, isn't that a structure of just giving our power away?
yep.
As if you know better than I do. That's what we're saying underneath of it. Let me pay you because you know better for me. Thanks, coach.
Yeah, that's not a coach. That's a counselor or a therapist. I know what you should
Not to
do.
take away, all useful, right? All helpful.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like they have
absolutely.
their
It all has
places.
its place. Yeah, absolutely.
My point is the
It's just,
awareness.
yes.
They should start out with this is not how it is. This is just a possibility.
Yes. Ooh. Yes.
Because then you allow the student to actually make their own choice.
I just noticed I have connection on there twice, so I'm just gonna do one final revision.
And
It won't be the final.
oh, that's what I was going to say.
Sorry.
You're good.
forgot what I was going to write.
You had connection on there twice, you said.
Yeah, and before that, someone said something, and it was like, "Wow, that's it. That's it. That's it." There's something that comes before the questions.
The choice.
Choice.
Oh, it was that this is just a possibility for everybody.
Possibility. That's it, Heinz. Thank you.
It was as soon as you said that something comes before the question, it's just
Yeah,
that
that's
triggered something in me, even though I didn't know it was that. It felt like it was that.
possibility.
Yeah.
So that's the start, really, of this conversation every day. It's possibility,
Yep.
and then it goes to questions.
And perspective.
Well, look, possibility exists inside of space.
Mm.
So we are gathering space. When we gather our space. Like to make space. At the end of the day, we create space. That is what we are. We are breakthrough creators because we create space.
Boom.
At the same time, we explore that new space we create.
Space.
Another great day.
Just like the possibility of every day.
Yeah.
Of every moment, of every space, of
Hey.
every choice. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
it's like it's like you'll ask people and their ego will respond. It's like, oh, how aware are you? Oh, right now, as you ask the question, I am 100% aware. Yeah, thank you, ego, for your answer. And it's like, so we look at space and we're like, thank you for being so humble. You have the right answer right in the moment. You didn't give it any other thought. So, yes, we can just move on to the next thing.
Yeah. You
That's
didn't
the
even
weather
like sit
report.
with it. You didn't experience it.
That's right. You didn't go into it, didn't explore it, didn't look at the possibility. Oh, maybe I am. Wonder, right?
Yeah.
So we close possibility or we open it. A judger closes it, shuts it down, destroys the space.
That's the no.
Yep. Yes,
Love
and
is saying.
expand.
Go. Okay, I've updated it. I'll take a
Oh,
picture.
it's about time, Will. Thanks.
Yeah. Boy, that
About
took
time you get it
forever,
right. About time you get it right.
Thank you. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be
That
perfect.
wasn't your. That was definitely not your ego saying that.
It's like, come on, what are you doing? Get it right, man.
Having
Get it
fun.
right on the first shot.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be perfect.
If you don't, it's a sin.
Yeah, exactly.
now we're back to the sin again.
Oh,
Back
full
to
circle,
start.
man. That's awesome.
Oh boy, a new Cindy. I've got about 20 more minutes, so wonderful.
Oh, awesome. Want to stick around for a little bit?
Morning.
I am, yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Fireside.
Good day, beautiful souls. You're still gathering.
Centrell,
Yeah.
welcome
We're
back.
waiting for you.
Yeah,
For you.
we've been holding the space for you, Centrell.
Oh, it's so precious.
Well, we're glad you're here.
I'm glad you guys are here.
Okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna share that, Jesse, in the chat. I'll share a new one. Boom. There we go. I love how your mouth moves to that.
Can we understand what Jesse's saying?
Was it Jesse? I thought it was you who was far away from your microphone.
I don't.
Yeah, I was just kidding. I was getting told what to do.
No, you were getting told what to do.
Mhm.
Well, we love that. We love when other people tell us what to do.
Mm-hmm. It's the best relationships we have.
Yep. Then we can decline all responsibility. Well, you told me to do it this way.
Right.
Yeah.
You said. You said.
Yeah,
You said.
exactly.
Not that I heard. It wasn't that I heard. It was that you said.
Yep.
Good morning, Cinderell. It was like I listened to your gather. It's like when you came in, it was like, oh man, was that just, you were so present in your heart. Thank you for the demonstration.
Yes.
Wow.
Space. That's what was missing.
This is
Great
beautiful.
space. Thanks, Joe. It's like a framework of what Fireside is all about and how it functions.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's pretty intuitive, eh?
Absolutely. You know, they said picture is worth 1,000 words. It's like you've captured so many like nuances and layers of what happens here.
Yeah. Awareness could even be wonder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you got the giggle and the wiggle and the
As I go out of my Wi-Fi, my word is awareness. So awareness, yes, awareness could be wonder.
Mm.
I just had wonder the other day, so I'm gonna stick with awareness.
That's after 2 hours of fireside now, I feel wonderful.
Wonder. Full of wonder. Wow,
Yeah.
what a great way of being to go into your day with. Well, I
Yeah.
guess your day is kind of nearing completion, but
It's only 4 o'clock.
and hey, you can continue that on through the night in wonder.
Yeah.
Full of wonder. Oh yeah. Wow. There's just so much to be in wonder of.
So
I'm probably going to say something that's not particularly celebratory.
Yeah, no worries.
Because I see the breakthrough there. I've come through a breakthrough
Nice.
of different things. And I'm glad that I'm here to be on the other side. Because before breakthroughs, you just don't know. And I'm having a kaleidoscope of memories and thoughts right at this very intersection. I saw a Facebook post that showed a building that was just torn down with many memories, many memories. It held many memories for me and many people. But prior to that, I was having thoughts of being tired of being strong and a kaleidoscope of other feelings of there was a play one time called now I can't remember the title. For women who have considered suicide when the rainbow wasn't enough. You know, the rainbow is a great wonder. But what happens when the rainbow's not enough? And then, you know, so nobody wants to go, ooh, suicide, ooh, you know, right? And they ask you that at doctors, like it's just a standard. Have you ever considered suicide? You know, and you
want to
know
make
not
sure
to.
you can't get life insurance.
Yeah, right. So you know not to answer yes. But you know, who hasn't thought about just
Yep.
ending it, you know?
Yep. I do.
Yeah, I mean it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
So you always say no. And it's a cousin to another feeling of having literally experienced something I would have never thought the existence of me would consider, but to consider killing somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Like just was done, right? And it's something to get to those points where it's like it's and waking up, so to speak, shaking or waking up where I understand why people commit murder. Some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I understand why people can get to where they take their own lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Same.
I don't want to live it, but I'm like, it's a breakthrough and an honor to understand it
Yep.
when you don't want to really wonder about it because you don't want to go down that road, but doggone it, it's a real thing.
Yes.
And people don't want to talk about it, and that's why so many people go about it.
Yep. Because they shove it down into the darkness, but then the darkness overpowers the light.
Right. But when you have a place to in yourself to know, like when the bottom falls out, when the sky doesn't show, even then there's a break, you know, You're gonna
You're,
break
you're,
through one way or the other. So
yes. And there's
even
always choice. There's always choice.
yes.
You get to
It's
choose.
there's choice even when there is no choice.
Or when you think there's no choice, there actually is choice.
Right. There's
I have no
always
choice. Well, you're lying to yourself.
well, but I think it's all true.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, people can believe that in the moment for sure. And it's true for them in that moment. But
Right.
and there still is choice.
And
You know, if there's fireballs coming out of the sky and you know, um, you got a choice to evacuate, or you could stay there and get blown up.
mhm.
Um, you might not have a choice if something hits you and blows you up and you're dead. You're gone. Okay, there was no choice in that. But if you knew that that was coming and you didn't get out of there, well, you didn't
you
exercise your choice.
what do you surrender to? And
Yeah.
so there's the structural shifting. I see the structure there. That you just, choice creates that. And I like that the structure is listed to the right and choice is up high to the left. You choose to create a different structure.
Yeah, and actually, that's what is at the core. So I put a triangle by it to signify that right in the center point of everything is choice and free will,
Mm-hmm.
and like into it, right? Like when we're into it, we're
Mm-hmm.
actually connected in our hearts. We're connected
Mm-hmm.
through our awareness, our expression, our expansion. When we gather, breakthrough, and scatter, we connect to our wisdom in this space of asking questions, this structure of receiving feedback, of experiencing realizations. And when we are in the center of it all, we experience choice and we have that free will to choose today, right now, every day. And then at the experience of it all is freedom, connection, and inspiration. We connect here, we get inspired, and we bring that freedom to the world.
I'll put in here, Sydney, as well. It's like we all have our tops and our bottoms. Waves do. Waves always have a top, always have a bottom. They are just waves. So life is going to have waves. And it's like my bottom, where I'm currently at, continues to go deeper. It's like, oh my God, can it? Can it really go any deeper? Really? I don't want it to. I want
But
to
it
avoid
is.
it. I want to get out of it. But the lesson is not getting out of it that way. I want to get out of it. The lesson is going through it. So how can I be in my power, my choice, my freedom through it?
Mm.
So to just say, it's like at the bottom, like is where we can surrender to what
Mm-hmm.
was. And surrender is not in some people's vocabularies, surrender is not an option, but it is required.
Yeah. There's so acceptance, awareness that even what you don't like is, but that doesn't mean you're it. That has to be your choice. You could always make choice. You can accept that something is, but you don't have to choose it just because it is.
So it's just to share with others that we have ours too.
because it could appear like all our shit's together.
You're funny.
But that would be fake. That wouldn't be authentic. That wouldn't be true. So our point is to, as Annette would say, show up our best in our worst moments.
Wow.
Ooh,
There you go. That's the magic.
show up our best in our worst moment.
Be it.
Man, I love it. And it's showing up, showing up.
That's how we get the best outcome also, by being our best.
Too often people think they're there alone.
Yeah.
Too often people think they're at their bottom alone. Everyone else is enjoying life, right? Everyone else is having fun. Everyone else is perfect except for me. So we can see the attachment to mine. The delusion of mine and yours. They're separate, and we can be delusioned by them. But the truth of it is that we're not alone. We just feel it because we don't share it. We don't talk about it. We're not from our heart sharing what it is. And just because we're so afraid of what others will think, what other people will judge of us. And that has us only judge ourselves.
And sometimes afraid of what we may feel, that when you feel like you've hit the bottom, you don't want to feel any more bottomness than what you're already experiencing. But you've got to, some things you just got to go through to get the breakthrough whenever that comes.
It's the breakthrough. Yeah, it's like it's not easy.
I feel it's like when you are talking about murder and suicide, that's when the ego is so loud that you can't even hear your heart anymore. Then you are truly alone, you and your ego only. And the ego don't want to share, it want to be right. It don't want to be vulnerable. It actually don't really want anything, the ego.
Right.
It
It wants to be safe, controlled, protected.
Seen and heard.
Sorry, Sandra.
No, I mean, but even in that moment when like the ego is parading its prowess, its enormous bigness, loudness, it's just like another very small spirit comes and says, sit down and shut up.
It's because the spirit knows that you'll find yourself in the silence.
I'll give a perfect example, and I call it like unresolvable desires that are nested inside of each other. So a abuser, right? Someone that abuses, like has a victim, right? Has there's a structure. You need each side of it to work. And so if you think about unresolvable desires, it was like I had a desire to be seen, right? To be proved, to prove my worth, prove. But I would never accept that when people like pointed it out, like honored it. It was like, oh, I couldn't do that. Like, I didn't like it. Do you see? That's what I wanted, but I didn't like it when I got what I wanted. Oh, they're just different patterns. They're different structures playing out differently. It's like, oh man, they want one and they don't want it. What is this? That is crazy. Yes.
It's like when you are alone, you want somebody to be with, and when you are with somebody, you just want some time alone.
Right, right. It's like, oh, crazy. We always want something that we don't have, right? We always want something we don't have. We're not appreciative of what we do have when we do have it, but that's a choice.
That's why we have this movement of consciously exercising gratitude, appreciating what you do have without the contrast of not wanting it. Like somebody could kind of like be in your space and you know, and you feel icky about them, like, could you just leave, right? But what is it about that person that you would miss if they were gone to appreciate it while they're present?
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to catch that in the moment sometimes.
Our personal relationships are that way, right? Our real close relationships are that way.
Yeah.
Easy to get frustrated with those we love or quote say we love.
Yeah.
No one can get more under your skin than your loved ones.
Yeah.
Because they know us.
Yeah.
Patterns, right? The patterns. We got them because they filled a good pattern, and then we also are going to fill a bad pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
All we're looking for is our mom and our dad. Yet that's not what we want. But real deep down, it's like that's what we're looking for because that's what the closest thing we know to love.
Yeah, mommy, daddy, mommy,
yeah, right.
daddy.
Like,
well, that's because like mommy and daddy, they supply needs that you don't realize you need until they're not there supplying it. It's like, wait a minute, the water doesn't come on. Where's the water? Well, mommy and daddy are not here to pay the bills. Oh, now you missed them. Oh, you didn't know that they were doing all of that, did you? You didn't even think about that. Oh, so now you want them. You love their rules, huh?
Just like I said the day with the fridge, we don't recognize we have a fridge until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it, Heinz. You
We are
don't
great at
realize
taking
what you have until it's gone.
for granted. We take so many things for granted instead of truly just sitting down and smelling the flowers. Just
and
enjoying the
we
moment.
project. We project like for years. I thought that I hated my dad because of some things that had happened when I was young and because of his way of being. I thought that I hated him, but I actually loved him very deeply, and he loved me very deeply. But I struggled to differentiate because I labeled him and I judged him, and those labels and those judgments was who I was being that created that. And I've managed to do enough work where I could kind of see that difference and break free a little more free of those labels and those judgments that I was imposing on myself and others. Like they're doing this to me, or they're that, or they're this, or they're that. And it's really, well, I'm being this and I'm being that, and they're just mirroring it and they're just showing my own insanity. And I'm not saying that they're not doing things that aren't necessarily appropriate. It's just funny how it all plays out in our reality, our inner constructs.
How we make it personal.
Yep. The ego sure loves that, man.
Oh, making it all personal.
Man, it's all about me. Don't you know that?
Why did it happen to me? Me of all people, I'm such a good person.
They're being like that because of me. Like I somehow have control over them. Like that's insanity. That's complete insanity. Me. They're just being whoever they're being. And it's okay. Hitler will be Hitler. My dad will be my dad. Will be Will.
But
unless he doesn't.
But without Hitler, we wouldn't have that much love on the earth. He showed us what we didn't want to have here.
Contrast, the shadow, the darkness.
He showed us the darkness so the light actually shine.
Yeah, the polarity, the extreme polarity.
After Hitler, we had the flower power age. Make love, not war.
Yeah. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love.
And it's great what Janis Joplin sings. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Well, if you choose, I can't lose anything. Well, then you're truly free.
Wow. Cool. I feel a song
it's
coming
all about
on.
how we perceive it. If you perceive it, this is mine. If you see this is mine, then you got something to lose.
All you need is love, love.
All
you need is love.
That's the third one singing today. We got a hat trick. Yay!
Yeah.
Me and Will been going at it all day.
What you got? What were you singing?
Yeah, that's what I was singing was the Beatles' Love.
One song that's always running in the background is Mana Mana Do Do Do.
Yeah.
It's always running.
And then the do 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 do.
Yeah, that's my two songs. They are always running.
All you need is love, love. All you need is love.
Love is all you need.
Yeah.
Love that song.
That's all you need.
Has anyone seen that movie where I think it's called Yesterday, and it was like if John Lennon did not exist and the Beatles, or not exist, if the Beatles did not exist, how different would the world be?
Whoa.
It's a pretty profound movie, actually.
What's the name of it?
It's called Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yep.
All my troubles seem so far away.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a
shadow hanging over me.
Over me. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
I believe in yesterday.
That was like a breakup song, wasn't it? I just realized that. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. Breakup song. What?
And that's what we have to do to go on today sometime is break up with yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
Very nice. That was a good sneeze.
That was my son.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a
Oh, I didn't
powerhouse
think you could
sneeze, man.
you could hear it.
Sure. One thing is sure. I mean, you can think in the past, but you can't live in the past.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. Oh, if you live in the past, I'll tell you something. I used to be that person who lived in the past. And I tell you, you want to talk about like suicidal ideation and even acting out on it. That's called living in the past. That will take you into a deep, dark hole, and you will lose yourself, and you may run the risk of ending it all. So it's definitely not a place of power. It's not a place of
It's
Choice.
not a healthy.
yeah.
Not a healthy place to be.
Yeah, I guess everyone's experience of the past is different, and it depends on how you frame it. But if you're stuck in the past, it sure does not give you power in the present, said the ego. Sounded like a lighter, like a Zippo. Man, I just came up with like a headline. Ooh, based on my experience in life, from trauma to freedom, or from PTSD to free. I just got to come up with a tagline for, yeah.
Talk about living in the past. I'm working with emptying, getting rid of the furniture here. So I called all these auction, well, not all, but I called like 3 of them and emailed some and sent them pictures of the furniture. And they're like, we can't move anything more than 5 years old. If it's more than 5 years old, no matter how well it's made or whatever, people are just not buying antiques anymore.
Nope.
No market for it. It's too heavy.
Really?
It's too big. It's too much. It's like people want stuff transitional.
Unless you do like a home, like unless you buy and flip houses, and or do renovations and take repurpose antique like desks and tables and counters and furniture and do a kind of a mid-century modern kind of thing.
Yeah, this was one of them was like, we got too much of it. The stuff isn't moving.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Too much choice.
Supply and demand. It's like people want minimalism stuff.
Yeah, and most of the new stuff is lightweight.
Yeah.
Much of the old is pure wood, and it weighs. Oh my God, it weighs. And it's not like you can just take it apart either, because it's glued together. Back then, they didn't use umbraco screws and screwed it together. No, it's made, and then it's made to last.
Yeah, the structure was structured to be structured forever.
Yeah.
That was called great craftsmanship, but it's just not valued now.
No.
Yeah, it's too bad. Things were built to last. I still have a popcorn maker that I bought probably in the early 90s.
Oh.
And I still got my Blockbuster popcorn bowls.
Wow.
And they are tough. And the popcorn maker still works great.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's a great Saturday night movie. Flashback to watch the movie.
Yeah, let's go to Blockbuster and see if they got any copies left.
Yeah.
Let's see if Blockbuster still exists.
Yeah, there's only one
Yeah.
store on the planet, and it's in Bend, Oregon. And there's a documentary about it, I think, on Netflix.
Yeah, but it also exists online.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Seriously?
You can still rent movies at Blockbuster, but you just need to go into your smart TV and type in Blockbuster.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
Rent a movie for 24 hours or so with a
Mhm.
timer on it and everything.
Cool. I didn't know either. See, we had another breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Blockbuster video stores and on-demand movies. What?
Yep.
It still exists.
And it still carries a novelty even beyond
But
Netflix.
Oh, you know what
it's
it's
not
called?
the
It's called
same,
Sling TV.
but it's not the same. There was
And it's
the
only available in the
thing
US.
about going down there and not knowing if they had a copy home or not. The wonder of going there.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like there's this place. They've been around since 1958. It's an ice cream store. And
Mm,
they don't take credit cards, only cash.
wow.
And it's a novelty. It's you enjoy the experience of going to Hoover Mills.
Mm.
Mills. Oh,
And
I'm
it's
going to head off, guys.
Well, you have
okay.
a great day, Will.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank
Love and
you.
hugs.
Till we meet again.
Until we meet again, I'll see you when you see me. And then there were three.
Yep. And just playing with his AI.
Mm, that's a
Extreme
wonder.
close-up. Extreme close-up.
Yeah. I should play with my AI. I've been pulling together, like, I've got binders like all over the place. So I've got them, well, I've had them all over the place. So I've got another bin of binders to go through. Some of it is from educational stuff or whatever, but some of it is where I have excerpts of writings. So it's in my heart, not immediately, to gather those scattered writings and let them audition for a book to come about eventually one day of Cindyisms. But
Of Cindyisms.
yeah,
That's a new word.
yeah, well, it's Cindyisms, poems and prose and everything that goes.
Mm.
And in one of my sketches, one of my books, I actually have the layout of the book that it would, it's a coffee table book with pictures and poems and prose and taglines. So I don't have all the pictures yet, but I'm sure I have enough content to put it in context.
Mm.
So I need to go be so-called responsible in the material world today.
Well, you had a beautiful day, and we'll
It's been
have another.
beautiful. So glad you
All
guys
right.
are here. Bye-bye. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Bye, everyone. Or bye, Jesse.
I can't